what teams in the NFL would realistically try to sign Jordan Love if he were to hit free agency this coming offseason? So we'll start now with the other guy who could be getting $60 million a year pretty soon. Now, the Cowboys, they don't have a long-term deal worked out with Dak Prescott. As of next offseason, they might be looking for a quarterback. Do you think that they would want to sign Jordan Love next offseason?
I would say
could.
swipe left. I think they're pretty committed to Dak. I think they'd be happy with Jordan Love, but I think they...
If they're going to sign a quarterback for that much, they would sign Dak over Jordan Love.
Yeah, they're already committed. Obviously, Dak...
You think so?
Like Molly said, Dak's got more on the resume. It's a great
Cowboys
regular
fans love
season
him.
quarterback.
He does, but also there's also the idea that he hasn't done it yet.
Neither is Jordan Love.
But look what Jordan Love did in his first season, almost getting them to an NFC Championship game.
Right?
One quarter away.
I think Cowboys would stick with Dak. That's just me. You can go the other way.
In Dak's
We
rookie
don't have to
season,
agree.
he lost in the divisional round, one game away from the NFC Championship game.
Interesting.
He lost to...
Jordan Love is, knock on wood, healthier than Dak Prescott as well.
Yes, he's younger, so he has that on his side. All right, next one. We'll do the Dolphins.
I do think that the Jones family would be, maybe this is bad towards the Packers, but Jones family would be dumb enough to pay Jordan Love that much money after seeing him for 9 games. They would be willing to pay $60 million plus.
Okay, well, would the Miami Dolphins choose to move on from Tua Tagovailoa just to get the guy who was drafted, I believe, 23 spots after him in the 2020 NFL Draft?
Yes.
But they move on from Tua to sign Jordan Love next offseason?
Yes, they are trying to get off of Tua for the last how many years?
Yeah, I do think they would. I think they would make it seem like they weren't ready to move on from Tua to maybe show that he has some value for them to trade themselves, but I think Jordan Love's an upgrade, and I think Miami would see it that way as well.
All right, now this might be a crazy one for me to put on the list, but realistically, if the 49ers wanted to get a big upgrade, or maybe not a big upgrade for Dave and Deerfield on the Talking Text line, the 49ers, would they move off Brock Purdy to try and sign Jordan Love to a long-term deal?
No.
Yeah,
They have it too good.
For me, my opinion of the Niners is they are... With Kyle Shanahan, I don't think they want to be the team that spends 20% of their cap on a quarterback when they can, we can get a game manager and spend that with pieces around our game managing quarterback, and we can still get to where we want to go. So I think Jordan Love would absolutely thrive and maybe win a Super Bowl with San Francisco. But I don't think that's the vibe that they're going for.
All right, we got more teams to run through here. So the Cardinals with Kyler Murray. Do you think that they would try to move off of him to try to sign Jordan Love to replace him?
Not for the price of Jordan Love, I don't think.
No.
Yeah, I'm with Molly there. I think they're sticking with Kyler.
Yeah, that would make sense. All right, then the next next tier of teams I have in this semi-realistic category, these are teams who have guys who are on rookie contracts, but if they hit rock bottom, they could try to... Josh Rosen them. Try to ship them away, get off of them while they're still cheap, and then bring in a new quarterback. So the first team will be Bryce Young with the Panthers. Could you see the Panthers even realistically signing Jordan Love next offseason?
Man, I mean, Bryce Young did not look great. I think they would take that opportunity if it was presented.
But so Bryce Young would also have to play horribly again.
Right. Here's the thing. I don't think they're going out of their way, but if the Packers were to call him up and say, hey, Jordan Love's on the block, I think they would absolutely consider it.
This isn't trading Jordan Love. This is them signing him as a free agent to a massive deal.
Well, I think if Jordan Love was calling, they'd definitely consider it.
Even with Bryce Young still on the roster?
Yes. I think they'd consider it.
So that's not really a swiping right. Molly, what do you say?
I'm kind of in the middle as well. I almost would lean towards swiping left as a no, just because I feel like I don't know what their financial situation is.
They're going to open up a lot of salary cap by next offseason.
Okay, because it feels like they have nobody on their team.
They don't.
So I'm like, how can they not?
The more Molly talks, I think they do sign him now. They would.
But even with Bryce Young going into year 3.
Here's the thing. Bryce Young had a horrible year last year, right? Terrible.
Yep. As a rookie quarterback.
As far as what you're signing a guy who at least has 9 solid games. Like according with Molly's whole resume idea.
And he's about to cost $60 million per year.
Yeah, I think they would consider it.
I think you have to swipe left, guys. Come on.
I think so too.
I think they're considering it.
Let's not be delusional here. So now the Indianapolis coach with Anthony Richardson. He got hurt last year, so we didn't really see much of him. Do you think there's a chance he plays so bad the Colts would want to sign Jordan Love as a free agent?
No.
I agree. All right, then the next one is the Titans. They're like semi-committed to Will Levis. They might like him. They're not sure, I think.
I think they've had
they'd
too
take
many,
Jordan Love.
You
for
think
sure.
so?
Yeah.
I
They
can
don't
see
want
that.
some guy who's drinking mayonnaise in the sideline and Will Levis.
Drinking mayonnaise.
He does like mayonnaise.
He loves mayonnaise.
Yeah, you know what? Sure.
I think they would take that.
All right, and then now for the final tier of teams. These are the 7 actually realistic teams, in my opinion. Now, there are 2 teams who have quarterbacks who could retire after the 2024 campaign. The Rams with Matthew Stafford and the Jets with Aaron Rodgers.
Jets 100% would take him.
Yeah.
I mean, just for the
They'd pay
meme.
him $80 million a year.
Just for the meme, they
They're
have
that
to.
ridiculous. Yeah.
Now, do you think the Rams would? I mean, I don't know if Stafford's going to retire after this season, but do you think, realistically, if Stafford were to retire, do you think the Rams would go after Jordan Love or try
Jordan
to
Love
reset?
being with those receivers
With
on that
and
team.
McVay, I think that would be a really good fit.
Do you think
would
they
be
could
very good.
afford that?
That I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not totally sure, but if there was a way to make it happen, I think they would try to make it happen. So I'd say swipe right for the Rams.
Okay.
If Stafford's leaving voluntarily and Jordan Love said he was available, they would do everything they could to make that contract happen.
Okay. All right, then now we got quarterbacks going into the final year of their contract, and a team could easily move on from them if they wanted to. Now, Mike Tannenbaum mentioned the Seahawks with Geno Smith. You think they would be a team that could go after Jordan Love next offseason?
Yeah, I think they'd be interested.
I think it really depends how Geno Smith is, because he wasn't bad last year. That was his first
Right.
season that I feel like I've looked at him and I'm like, dang.
He's a very
That's pretty
solid
good.
QB. He's kind of in the Dak
What's he,
Prescott
32?
level.
Yeah.
30?
I don't know exact age, but he's not as old as you would think.
Right.
He
All
just
right.
feels like he's been around forever because he's been on so many teams. It
So
feels
we'll
like.
cross-
Since his jaw got broken on the Jets.
We'll cross that off because we feel like Geno Smith is in a pretty solid footing with the Seahawks. All right, then the next one is the Steelers. Now, they have Russell Wilson and Justin Fields
No.
battling for the quarterback spot this offseason. You think that they could sign Jordan Love next offseason?
No, but if they did, they might win. With these other quarterbacks, I don't know what the heck's
So
going
you
to
think
happen.
next offseason they wouldn't even look into Jordan Love if he was available?
They would look, but
I do think
who's
that
the starter out of these two?
it's
Russell
going to be
Wilson as of
Russell
right
to
now.
start. But
Justin Fields will take over.
yeah, I think Fields on the Steelers is going to be like a thing. So I'd say yes. I don't think they're going for Jordan Love. I think they're happy with the quarterbacks they
Off
got.
the market?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I could see them probably going more after a rookie quarterback. Some like Kenny Pickett, the same way they drafted him late first round, like Jordan Love. All right, then you mentioned earlier the Saints with Derek Carr. Now,
Yeah.
they could move off him pretty easily, though. The Saints are the ultimate cap-held team. Like, they are, paying back money, on layaway until 2030. Do you think that they would want to sign Jordan Love to a massive deal if they're going into, basically a rebuild after moving off Derek Carr?
No.
Probably not. They'd probably wait for the next quarterback.
Yeah, it just doesn't make much sense. They could either be a vacancy,
I think
but it
they'd
just
love
doesn't make
him,
sense
but they
for Love.
just couldn't do it.
Exactly. Just for their timeline, it doesn't make sense. So now there's 2 teams that I think clearly, in my opinion, should sign Jordan Love if he's available right away. And that's the Giants, who just gave Daniel Jones a big contract a few years ago. Now, I don't know exactly their cap situation, but I imagine they could find a way to make it work if they wanted to. And then the Raiders. The Raiders, they just gave Gardner Minshew 1 year, $15 million. I imagine that they could find the money to turn over Mark Davis out there in Vegas.
Yeah.
If they want to sign Jordan Love, they can make it work financially.
Yep.
Do you think both those teams are swiping right?
Yeah,
I would agree.
I love Gardner Minshew. I do. Mustache is killer, but they're taking.
He's a 1-year starter.
Yeah, they're taking Jordan.
All right, then based off of this semi-Tinder time exercise we went through, there's 6 teams that we think would actually try to pursue Jordan Love, and of those 6, there's 2 that we think could clearly make it work, the Giants and the Raiders. Then there's the Rams and Jets with the caveats of their quarterbacks retiring, and then there's also the Titans with the caveat of Will Levis probably not working out, and the Dolphins because we feel like the Dolphins would like Jordan Love over Tua, maybe because we're biased Packers fans. Not even maybe, it's because we are.
It's because we are.
Correct. So in this reality, so basically if 2 teams break up with their current quarterback or they get broken up with by their current quarterback, and then if there's 2 teams where their current quarterback situation just flames out, they have a horrible breakup, a divorce with their quarterback, then they'd be options for Jordan Love. But otherwise, there's probably 2 teams who clearly could sign Jordan Love next offseason. So Mike Tannenbaum saying there's a long litany of teams that would want to sign this ultra superstar talent in Jordan Love.
Maybe a little bit of a stretch.
Probably a bit of a stretch. Maybe saying that.
Even if you were generous and said most of those 6. 5 of 6. That's still only 5 of 32 in the NFL. It's
Yeah.
not a big, long line.
And at the end of the day, it just takes one team that's willing to do this.
Right.
But the Packers are also going to be competing for this. So, I mean, it's kind of what it was with the Jets, right? Like, there's the one team that won Aaron Rodgers. They take the risk on him. So now you have real leverage if you're Aaron Rodgers or Jordan Love signing in free agency. But we have to think, like, these teams might not have other options. Like, of the two, we think for sure, what if they end up with the top picks in next year's draft, right? Like, at the end of the day, the market for Jordan Love might not be as big as we're making it sound like. So I don't think the contract, we can say 10 years, $600 million, bunch of teams out there be willing to give it to him right now.